Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here on the 20th of January 2022. It is an interesting day in the market. What I'd like to do is take a look at Bitcoin, the S&P, take a look at NASDAQ, look at the price action that we've been dealing with this week. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, manage your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. A couple things I do want to point out. If you want access to our Discord, if you want access to our community, you want access to the educational content, and all of that's available at BitDoctor.org. So we've got education, trade ideas, we got some advanced strategies, spreads, and futures. And then, of course, access to our indicator, which is also available on BitDoctor.org, the indicator that I use in all of the trading that I do. So let's go ahead and move on into the charts. I want to take a look here at our good friend Bitcoin. It's been real interesting here the last few days. What I had basically been toying with the idea is that we had this big move down here, and this was the completion of the first wave of a correction. Then we kind of moved sideways here. I'm still kind of irked that I didn't get out of my position about 48,000 back here, and I'm just kind of sitting waiting for a recovery, which I do believe we are going to get. A couple things to point out here. All right, so I'm on a 1 hour. What I want to do is I actually want to move out to a 4 hour for a moment, and just kind of zoom out here. What I want to point out is the amount of support and resistance levels that we've got. This level right here is key at about 45,638. That had been support over and over and over, and then it broke through. We haven't retested this yet, and do expect at some point we will. We haven't retested that level yet. That's going to be a pretty darn important level, if you ask me. I'm going to go ahead and kind of change the color of that level just to just to outline that this is a support level that is now going to be resistance. That's again at about 45,638.50. I'm on a 4 hour chart here. The next level above that I'm looking at is going to be right here at about 48,110. The next level above that is going to be right around here at about 50,477. These three levels are so important for a breakout, right? We need those levels to break. Now, was I bullish on Bitcoin when we were down here? I actually was. What it looked like for a while, right? For a little while this morning, at least. Actually, I'm going to go down to a 15-minute, just kind of show you something that we were looking at, which is basically this guy right here. This looked to me for a while like a bear channel. And we were talking about this, and I said, okay, well, if you do want to short this, you want to short at the top of the channel and manage your risk if it breaks the top of the channel. And of course, we saw that's exactly what happened. But what I was looking at least from a shorter time frame perspective, was the fact that it looked like we did complete 5 waves up, right? So from down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Complete that 5 waves up, and then from the top, it looks like we completed 3 waves down. So there were 2 thoughts going on here. All right, and as you can see right now, this bright green candle, this is part of the indicator package. The 12 hour is starting to cross right now. This is key, right? With this big move up that we got, this is key for the bulls, right? We need this to move up. And actually, it looks to me like we did a nice retest of this level right here. We had our resistance there, and then we just kind of reclaimed that as support. If we can see a good move up, and especially if we can see a move up to new highs, I think this is good, right? This is good. So again, from this perspective, things look okay right now. Even with the pullback, I'm looking at this heat map. This is a new indicator that I'm currently in the middle of developing right now. But things look really good, and it caught the move basically right back here at the very beginning of it. After we saw this move up, things looked even better. And right now, things are, looking decent. This indicator is based on Bollinger Bands, and we're currently trading above a lot of these time periods on the Bollinger Bands, and so this is what's causing this green cloud to be below us. This is a good sign, and especially if it can maintain the green cloud and not start to turn purple or orange, that would generally be a pretty bad thing. But when you see it like this, this is generally speaking that we are still in a bullish mode. So from this up down, right? So we've got a 1 and a 2 or an A and a B. So Elo pointed out that it's very likely that we basically got a correction that hit right here. We did not push up above the 123.6. We need to push up above that in order for this to be, a candidate for a wave 3. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. What I'm looking for a move up to about 44,000. If we can see a move up to 44,000, that would be ideal. All right, so with that, what do I think we have going off of this low here at about 41,550? Well, I think we've got a candidate for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, right? So let me just put this in here because, again, as Elliott wave theory suggests, you should be able to divide all of the waves. Total grasp, hello. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1, 2, and then we've got this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Go down for the 4, and then I believe we still have this 5 that potentially is going to be kind of working itself in here. And again, on the lower degree, I can count the 1, 2, and then if I go really low, I can get this 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to go down to a 5-minute chart. I could if I wanted to, but it's just a lot of noise. I want to focus more on the quality count, which I believe is what we're looking at right here. What this depends on, highly dependent on finding and keeping support here, but realistically, we could come all the way down to about 42,150 and still be okay. That wouldn't be extremely bullish, but I could definitely see something like this happening. Based on this structure, since this is obviously not a bear flag or not a bear channel, this broke up, we can reasonably assume that we are going to have some bullish tendencies going into probably tomorrow, tonight even. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But with that 12 hours starting to cross bullish, that is a good sign. Again, from this, what was I looking at? Well, I was looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. One thing I didn't like. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of clear this off. One thing I didn't like about this wave structure is taking this from the dominant pivot high right here, dominant pivot low right here, and then getting that pullback. One thing I did not like is the fact that we didn't quite get to the 100. It would have been ideal if we got to the 100, but we didn't do that. If I go off of log scale, it's a little bit further away, right? So, it's okay that we didn't quite get there. I'm just checking to see if the indicator being on arithmetic scale makes any difference, and it does not. So this currently, it didn't quite hit, but it got pretty close. It got pretty close. I was sitting here with, of course, some leverage positions down here. As I already mentioned, I'm already long from a spot perspective. I was looking to sell at 48,000, so my entry is it was right here in this area, but I was looking to get out at about 48, and it was this spike right here. I missed it by like 20-30 bucks. I'm still kind of kicking myself over it because obviously I would have liked to have gotten a swing from down here, because again, I do believe we've got a 1-2, and if we do have a 1-2, all right, we've got basically two scenarios. Is it a 1-2 or is it an AB, right? So that's what everybody's trying to figure out. One way or another, whether it's a 1-2 or an AB. If it's an AB, we've got a C target right here, which would be a double top at about 44.2. We'd have a target right here at about 46.1, and we'd have a target right here at about 47.480. All of these would be, ideal targets. For the wave 3, if we are going into a wave 3, I would expect to move up to about 49,625. Again, probably in the coming weeks. I don't think this is something that's going to happen in a couple days. Price action, it's really been lackluster for the most part, to be completely honest. But for right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin right now. I do want to take a little bit of a shift over to equities. I'm going to take a look here at the S&P, which is actually starting to stage a little bit of a rebound right now after it got a decent pullback. What I was looking at here is basically wave 4 going down for wave 5. And I think that wave 5 is finally, nearing completion. Okay, so putting this down here, there's a couple things that I know some people are watching, people are kind of paying attention to. We saw this move up and this pullback. We were talking about a move back to the 618. That didn't work out. We sold off into the end of the day yesterday. So there's all right. Let me just kind of collect my thoughts here. Again, I do all of this live. I want to kind of entertain the idea that we are going to come back down here to about 4,500. So if we do come down to 4,500, what we're experiencing right now is very possible here that we've got, an A, B, C, D, E. So it's very possible that we could be creating a little bit of a wedge, and I think it's reasonable to to deduce that that is potentially what is going on here. Now, of course, I don't have another lower, right? I would just be guessing. But if this is the bottom of one correction, right? So let's say this is the bottom of wave 5, and then we go to A, B, C, D, E. Well, this could be an X, like in a W, X, and then we go down for the Y. Okay, so I do want to keep an eye on the fact that this may be happening, right? So you can see we tried to recover. We've already sold into that. Things are moving very, very quickly right now. The hourly on the ES, it doesn't look great. It does look like it wants to move down. The 12-hour is pretty low. Do I have a larger count? Did we finish the bottom earlier? So Anson's asking a really great question. Is this the bottom? Do I have a case where this is the bottom? I actually do. I do have a count. I do have a case where this is the bottom. If you are in the Discord and you are in the Goldman Sachs trade, you just got out of your trade with a decent amount of profit. I just heard my order go through, so I'm just kind of pointing that out. My order filled. I'm pretty happy about that. But anyway, so is it possible that we do have a bottom? Yes. What's the larger count on this though? Right. So the larger count on this, right? So yeah, this is my. I don't want to say it's my bearish count, but this would be what I'm looking at for an expanded flat, right? It's still possible that we go lower, right? There's nothing keeping us from going lower. So I have removed the 123.6, but I'm going to put it on here just so that we can see it, because this 123.6, which is sitting right there at 44.95, that right there is key, right? So let's just go ahead and spend a minute here. Again, just doing this all live. I didn't prepare this ahead of time, obviously. So this is my expanded flat scenario. So I've got my wave 4 on a larger degree, and then I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've got A, B, C down into the A, B, C up into the B, and then from here, I can reasonably expect that what we've got is from the top here, a little 1, 2, 3, 4, sharp 5, okay, and then from here, a little ABC. So let me get the ABC in here. So from there, up, down, up. I'm going to put this on a lower degree. So basically we're looking at a zigzag here. And then from there, from this top, right, what I'm looking at, I think this is probably the case, right? From up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, working on this 4, and then we go down for the 5, okay? The 5 to complete the C, to complete the wave 2 at approximately 44.95, which would be a double bottom, right? So we have a nice expansion to the upside to all-time highs. Then we see this 5, 3, 5 going down. And so far, with the sideways nature that we've got going on here, it would make a lot of sense for this to be the case. And again, this 3 could be here. And again, we could be looking at that same scenario. Excuse me here. Let me put this over. So with this, again, just taking a look at this again, very, very likely something like this is in the cards. We could be in a scenario where we have a wedge. The other scenario, which both, to be completely honest, both lean down right now. This could be an ABC right here. This wave 4 could be done. Okay? And then we go down for the wave 5, which would happen sooner than we expect. Are we going to pin 4,500 tomorrow? I mean, that's very possible, you guys. Very, very possible that happens. So just kind of keep an eye on that, because it's very possible that we do see this move down to 4,500 tomorrow. That would be a realistic place to be a bottom. And again, what that will allow for the hourly to reset. The 12-hour will be down here and oversold, and the 3-hour, it doesn't look terrible, but again, give it another 12 to 14 hours and a lot can happen. This indicator will likely reset. If this is an expanded flat right here, then we can go down very, very easily and hit that target and really complete the expanded flat scenario, which would take us, again, back up to new highs. This would be, of course, this is the extremely bullish scenario. Would I prefer this? Sure, of course I would. But this is what I'm looking at. This is basically my larger, I'll call it my primary count. Again, this 5-wave structure up. This 5 actually belongs up here. 5-wave structure up to complete wave 1, then A, B, C to complete an expanded flat here on wave 2. So that's a 3, 3, 5 on wave 2, and then we go up for wave 3. That again would be after a move down here to about 4,500. We're going to have to wait and see, because we've got a lot of options that are expiring on Friday. So there's a lot of pressure to, either keep the prices where they are or to have a significant move up tomorrow. If we flush to 4,500 tonight, then more than likely tomorrow is going to be a green day, because remember, SPX has AM expirations tomorrow and it has PM expirations tomorrow. These types of expirations, they have a little bit of uncertainty to them, especially if you trade the AM expiration. So that is something to pay attention to. But anyway, that's the S&P. NASDAQ, it doesn't look that bad, okay? NASDAQ doesn't look that bad. It looks very, very similar. Of course, we're seeing a little bit of a push down, but if NASDAQ is in a very similar scenario that the S&P is, keep in mind, NASDAQ, from this top back here, back in November, hasn't made a new high where the S&P has, okay? So we've got 3 waves down, and then A, B, C up, and then we've got, 3 waves down, and then we have this, it was just basically stair-stepping up before we finally, kind of sold off. But I'm going to remove this and just kind of measure it real quick and see where we potentially could be looking at a bottom here. So we've got dominant pivot high, dominant pivot low right here, got a double bottom, and then we do this pullback, right? So we hit the 123.6 already. This is very interesting. We've already hit the 123.6. What I would not like to see, because we talked about this range expansion the last time we did this video where we had a channel, and then I duplicated the channel and moved it down. Can we come back down here to this median? I would be very bullish if we touch this median, to be completely honest. Again, very similar comparing to the S&P. We've got, the weekly is not as great. If we're being honest, the weekly is not as great. The hourly, it's pointing down as we expect. S&P is doing the same thing. The 12-hour is down here in oversold also. So if we can get to the point where all these guys are down here and oversold at the same time, that's when I'm going to be looking to get a little more aggressive long positions. We closed out an SPX L position on this move up. We closed it at about a 1% loss. We got that a few days ago, and decided to cut it. Looks like right now, currently, that was a good decision. Still is yet to be seen if we're going to get down to our lower targets that we're looking at for the S&P. But if we get all of these indications to line up, then that would be a good thing. Trading Opportunities asking a question: do I like any alts? It's a really, really great question. Do I like alts? I think there is an opportunity for there to be some alts. I've got about 10 minutes here. I wouldn't mind going through a whole bunch of Binance USDT tickers here. And what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through these in order of price. We've already looked at Bitcoin. Let's see here. Let's go down and start with Binance Coin. So we're going to start with BNB. Does BNB look good? I'm going to do this really, really fast, and I'm going to base it all based on the indicators. So just to kind of prepare you, this is all that I'm going to be looking at. Binance does not look like it's ready. The 3-hour looks like it's going to cross down. The hourly looks like it's going to cross down. It almost looks like we've got a little bit of a bear channel that we're creating here. Bitcoin made a big move up. Binance Coin did not. Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, we saw a little bit of compression here and then a big move up out of that compressionary place. So I would say as long as Bitcoin Cash remains above 374, I think that that Bitcoin Cash is fine. If it breaks down below, I would say it's probably going to come back down here to about 363. The weekly looks really good on Bitcoin Cash. I believe that Bitcoin Cash is one of the few that has the potential to 10x within the next couple of years to go up to about $3,500. I think it's very possible Bitcoin Cash does that. No, I don't think it's going to happen this year. No, I don't think it's going to happen this month. It's going to take some time, but I think Bitcoin Cash has that potential to make that serious move to the upside. Do I hold Bitcoin Cash? Yes. KSM, again, some of these I'm going to look at. I'm going to say I have no idea what this is. But this one, we've got the 12-hour, we've got the weekly, all in oversold, all at the same time. But the hourly looks like it's going to cross down. I would say it's probably going to come back down at least to about 249. And from there, let's wait and see what the hourly looks like. If we can get all of these in oversold at the same time, that's great. Right now, no, I don't see a trade on KSM. AAVE, I don't see a good trade here. A lot of them are going to look really, really similar, to be completely honest. Monero, when Bitcoin made that big move up, didn't really kind of maintain, didn't create any kind of bearish divergence or anything, but it looks like it's going to continue to consolidate with a bias of downward. So I'm not a big fan of XMR Monero. EGLD looks very similar to Monero. Again, bias right now would currently be down, but again, it's getting to that point where that 12-hour is starting to cross up. The weekly is oversold. I think we are going to get a relief rally on some alts. It's just a matter of finding the right ones. Comp is going to be a no for me. I love Litecoin, just for the record. Do I hold Litecoin? Yes. I really like Litecoin. I think it has the potential to go up to $700 to $1,000 even this year. I think it's possible. Everybody kind of gives it it kind of gives it crap, but I think that Litecoin isn't going to be, really performing that bad this year. Potentially, creating a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders. It still needs to come back down here to about 139 in order for that to really become a valid inverted head and shoulders, in which case it could spring right back up here to 153. But for right now, I don't see a really great trade on Litecoin. On Sol, so this one, dominant pivot high, dominant pivot low, pull back, hit the 123.6 and bounced right off of that. We didn't have any buy signals, but from a technical perspective, it made a lot of sense. I don't see any bearish divergence on this new local high compared to this high over here, where that is, the indicator made a higher high, the price made a higher high. Do I think it's going to pull back? Yeah, I do think it will. I think the important level is going to be right here at about 138.63, but for right now, I don't see a really great trade on this. Yeah, the 12-hour is starting to cross. The weekly doesn't look all that great right now. Dash. We were talking about Dash on the server last night. Dash looked pretty good down here. We were talking about this. We've got the 12-hour, which is crossing up. We've got the weekly, which is also starting to cross up. Dash looks okay. Yeah, do I think it's going to pull back? I do think it probably is going to pull back. Again, probably down here to about 129, 130. From there, I think it's probably going to be a decent move to the upside. Do I hold Dash? No, I do not. Zcash, what does the indicator look like? 12-hour, weekly, and oversold. Everything else is just not there, so I don't see a good trade on Zcash. AVAX, let's see here. Yeah, we had set an order to kind of catch a falling knife, and obviously that didn't work out. Even if you were to have held, that would still have been okay. I'm not an advocate of that because that was a pretty decent stop loss. Like most alts, you've got the 12-hour starting to cross upward, but you've got the 1-hour and the 3-hour up here in overbought territory, so I would say not a really great trade right now on AVAX. Luna, we've got some levels on Luna that we're kind of paying attention to. We respected this level right here. Again, we had support, resistance, reclaimed that as support, and now we're up here at this level, which is in about 83.10. We're currently trading above that, but you've got the 1 hour, the 3 hour, the weekly up here in overbought territory. Now, again, with the 12-hour getting up there, would I short Luna here? No, I wouldn't short it. But if this 12-hour gets up here, I would consider it. I would consider it. Decred, again, you saw a big move up here. One thing I'm going to say about this, and I hope you guys, pay attention to this. When you see a big move up like this that gets sold off, first things first, it has to hold critical support levels, and the critical support level was the previous high before it had the massive move to the upside. So we saw a move back down here to just a little over 63, about 63.50, right? So as long as it maintains above that, I would say it's probably okay. You've got the weekly, which is crossing upward, which is good. That is good. We actually had the 1 hour and the 3 hour all in oversold all at the same time. With the weekly back here, again, that was about 63.50 as well. But is it a good buy up here? I mean, you're really increasing your risk by buying up here. I would wait for a little bit of a pullback before you got into this. FTT, this guy has just been doing really, really great here in recent times. Bitcoin is just kind of been moving sideways, but FTT has decided that it wants to continue to move up. The weekly did cross up. It was back here at about the $46 level. You had the 1 hour, the 3 hour, and the weekly all in oversold all at the same time back here. And this is back when the price was at about 43, 44. It's gone up significantly since then. You had the 1 hour, the 3 hour, the 12 hour, and the weekly all in oversold all at the same time. And where was it? Almost at the exact bottom, right? It was here at about 34.57, and the price has gone up about 25, 30% since then. So just to kind of point out how the indicator can work if you know how to use it and if you do use it, and if you're patient, right? Patient. Wait for the perfect setup. When you've got all four of these guys all in oversold at the same time, historically speaking, it has marked bottoms. So take that for what it's worth. Atom, we've got to break up above 44.74 before I even consider buying Atom, right? It's consolidating up here. Sure, it looks like it wants to break up, but it hasn't done it yet. So you just have to, again, be patient. Ethereum Classic. I was trading Ethereum Classic back when it was $6. Now it's at 31. That was a long time ago. 1 hour, 3 hour, and the weekly down here, while at the same time the 12 hour was kind of curling down. And of course, it's just been kind of chopping since then. I would say to hold off on this. We actually have some significant hidden bearish divergence on Ethereum Classic. So we're going to be doing a class on bearish divergence, bullish divergence, hidden bullish, hidden bearish. And that's what's going on right here. We have a much, much, much lower high, and the indicator is currently printing a higher high. That is not great, right? So that leads me to believe it's probably going to go down, and I bet this 12 hour, this weekly, the 3 hour, and the hourly, we're probably going to get an opportunity where they're all in oversold all at the same time. We just have to be patient and wait for that opportunity. I'm going to go through about 3 or 4 more of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it. We, again, on HNT, don't know what it is. But we do have some bearish divergence that is currently forming. We had the 1 hour, the 3 hour, and the 12 hour down here in oversold all at the same time, and that's when the price was at about 28. The last time that happened was the 1 hour, the 3 hour, and the 12 hour right here, and that was when the price was about 31, and it, of course, moved up to about 35, 36 before moving down. And actually, when it hit the 35, 36, that's when you had the 1 hour and the 3 hour and overbought at the same time. That was a great place to be selling, and the indicator, indicated that, right? FIL, I think it's Filecoin, whatever it is. The weekly looks flat. The weekly looks bad. The 12 hours getting down there. I would expect this is going to move down. All right, so at the end of the day, do I like any alts? Not really. Not really. We made some decent trades on Cardano the last couple days. We made some decent trades on Ripple the last couple days. But all in all, just scanning through the last what, 15, 20 alts that I just looked through, I don't really see anything that's worth buying at this time. The best time to be buying was yesterday, the day before, back when Bitcoin was down here, right? When Bitcoin was down here, this was the better place to be buying. So do I think that Bitcoin's going to do a little bit of a pullback? I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible Bitcoin does a pullback. I'll be very interested to see how equities work, but we're right in the middle of some important levels right here. You can see we've got this high here, which was support here, which was the high here, and we bumped up against it. Then we've got this high here, which we had some resistance here, support all through here. Then we had resistance, resistance. Now we're claiming that as support. So we're going to do a little ping pong right inside of this. We're going to do some ping pong, and then we're going to make a decision if we're going to break up or we're going to break down. I'd say if we break up above 43,581, we're probably going to be going to that wave 3 target. If we break down here, well, this was just an ABC, and we're going to go down to 37. That's what it is at the end of the day, folks. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share. We're looking to grow the community. We want to have more people in there. If you need access to the indicator, the education, the trade ideas, advanced strategies for equities, for crypto, even bonds and futures, BitDoctor.org is where you're going to find all of that information. And last but not least, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.